Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Friday, July 8, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 360 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting picks that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Going back to our video, we will give you 2 betting picks for each game, a team pick and a total pick based on facts and detailed explanation. So make sure to watch our videos till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Arizona Diamondbacks vs Colorado Rockies. Our team pick is Diamondbacks, minus 1.5 runs. And here is why. The Rockies have had a steady dose of NL West rivals over the last few weeks, and even though they'll be playing the Diamondbacks for the second straight week, they'll be happy to be done with the Dodgers. Colorado does remain in the basement of the division, but its ability to remain competitive shows that it's difficult to know what to expect from this group. Confidence and momentum will be high for this group though, after taking 2 of 3 games in the rivalry between these two teams last weekend. Things change for this team as soon as they hit the road though, and with a 12-25 record away from home and having lost 2 of 3 games in Arizona earlier this season, it remains to be seen how they'll do in this one. Arizona will be looking to find some revenge after losing 2 of 3 games to Colorado last weekend. After finding some success against the Giants during their midweek slate of games, momentum might be shifting back in the right direction for this group as the summer rolls around. Over their last 10 games, they've gone .500, and while they remain barely above the Rockies in the standings, they have their eyes on moving even further up the rungs and putting a run together to highlight a strong summer. Being back at home should help this group after having to play in Colorado last weekend, but it remains to be seen if it'll be enough to help them change the results of the rematch from last weekend. Arizona will like their chances in this one, especially with Golan taking the mound for the home team. The Diamondbacks have been playing better and better of late as they continue to improve on both ends, while also taking 2 of 3 against Colorado when these two met at Chase Field earlier this season. Golan has been strong this season, and his ability to keep Colorado at bay on the scoreboard should be enough to help Arizona overcome their own woes and shortcomings when it comes to scoring runs. Additionally, according to Covers.com, Arizona is 4-0 in Golan's last 4 home starts and 4-1 in the last 5 meetings with the Rockies in Arizona. Our total pick is over 8. And here is why. Looking at each starter's previous 7 starts, neither has been doing great as Chad Kuhl has a 3.98 ERA in 40.2 innings, while Zach Golan has a 4.82 ERA in 37.1 innings. The pitching in July for both teams overall is not pretty as the Diamondbacks are 22nd in the majors with a 5.02 ERA in 6 games, while the Rockies are 28th in the sport with a 5.82 ERA in their 6 games. The over is 4-1-1 in Colorado's last 6 games versus a team with a losing record, while it also is 4-1-1 in Arizona's previous 6 games. All in all, go with the over to hit in this game. Seattle Mariners vs Toronto Blue Jays. Our team pick is Seattle for the win. And here is why. Toronto went on a nice stretch at the end of June, winning 4 games in a 5-game stretch against Boston and Tampa Bay. The Blue Jays went ice cold after that, losing their next 5 games. They were able to get back on track with a 2-1 win over Oakland on Wednesday before heading to Seattle for this series. Toronto is in 3rd place in the American League East, trailing the Yankees by a whopping 15 games. However, the Blue Jays are 3.5 games ahead of Cleveland for the final AL wild card spot. They are the 4th best defensive team in baseball, batting at a .257 clip. Seattle was sitting 10 games below the .500 mark in the middle of June, but the Mariners have started to get hot since then. They won 8 of their final 10 games to close out last month's schedule, before suffering 1 loss against Oakland on July 1st. Seattle bounced back with 4 consecutive wins, including 2 in San Diego earlier this week. The Mariners are in 2nd place in the AL West, but they are still 13.5 games back of Houston. They are fighting for one of the AL wild card positions as well, sitting 4 games behind Toronto heading into the end of Thursday night slate. These teams have been trending in completely different directions heading into this series. Toronto has lost 5 of its last 6 games, including 4 of its last 5 road games. Seattle has won 7 of its last 8 contests heading into Thursday's series opener. This story was published prior to that game. The Mariners have been able to make up some serious ground in the AL wild card race, and I like their chances of winning on Friday night. These starting pitchers are coming off wildly contrasting starts as well, with Kirby throwing 7 strong frames and Stripling allowing 5 runs. Our total pick is under 8.5 runs. And here is why. The Blue Jays are averaging 4.65 runs per game and 4.60 runs per game on the road. They averaged 3.33 runs per game in their last 3 games against the Mariners. With Seattle giving up 3.70 runs per game at home, the Blue Jays will be held under their average in this game. The Mariners are averaging 4.01 runs per game and 3.86 runs per game at home. They averaged 2.33 runs per game in their last 3 games against the Blue Jays. With Toronto giving up 4.03 runs per game on the road, the Mariners won't score enough runs to push the score over the total. The Blue Jays and Mariners played under the total in their last 3 meetings. Los Angeles Dodgers vs Chicago Cubs. Our team pick is Dodgers minus 1.5 runs. And here is why. The Chicago Cubs are in the best form of the season as they have won 6 of the last 8 games. Another good news for the Cubs fans is that those 2 defeats came to the Red Sox and Brewers in extra innings. That's proof of how good the Cubs have been recently. After losing the first of a 3-game series to the divisional foes Milwaukee Brewers on the road, Chicago bounced back with a couple of 8-3 and 2-1 victories. The Los Angeles Dodgers entered a home series against the Colorado Rockies with a 2-4 season record against them, but got all 3 victories and swept the divisional rivals. Los Angeles fortified its top spot in the National League ahead of the New York Mets, but still has work to do to clinch the leading place at the end of the first half of this season. The Dodgers could have more problems in Game 2 of this season compared to Game 1 when Gonsolin should have an easier job. In this one, the Cubs will use their best pitcher this year, but Anderson is not bad himself. In fact, he is playing the best baseball in his career, and even though the Cubs did improve lately, they are still not playing well enough against southpaws. Namely, Chicago is batting .243 against lefties, which is fine, but is scoring only 4.06 runs per 9 innings. That will not be enough to beat the hosts, who are scoring 5.12 runs against right-handers. Following 19 consecutive wins in which the Dodgers were better by at least 2 runs, they beat the Rockies 2-1, so that run snapped. However, I am backing them to get another 2+ run victory on Friday. Our total pick is under 8.5 runs, and here is why. The under record is 5-2 in the last 7 games between these teams in LA, and that is the pick I am leaning towards in this game. The Cubs have really struggled at the plate in losing 4 games to the Dodgers this season, and I look for that to continue. They will not get much at all facing Anderson, who only gave up 1 run in his last start and 2 in his lone start against the Cubbies this season. I do not see the Dodgers lighting up the scoreboard, but they will get a few runs off Thompson, who has given up 6 runs in his last 2 starts. This game will not be a barn burner, which is why the under is the money pick.